for volunteerships to summarize, because I believe all of you know enough biology to feel confident in my class. And now you know that I don't punish. So it's just a discussion. So who would like to volunteer to summarize from cancer onwards? Anyone? No one would like to volunteer to give a summary?
Me?
Yes, Alia. Well, very good.
Okay.
Please
So
go ahead.
from cancer
Thank
or
you.
causes?
Yes, from you can see the screen, right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sharing.
yeah.
Yes, from
Yeah.
here only. Yes, let's start.
Okay. So we started with cancer. So cancer is one of the major causes of death worldwide. It is in the body, when the cell grows and divides, there's a regulatory mechanism, but and it is highly controlled. But in cancer cells, it is that regulatory mechanism is faulty.
Mhm.
In normal cells, it shows the property of contact inhibition,
Yes.
which meant the contact with other cells inhibits their uncontrolled flow. But in cancer cells, they lost this property, and hence the cancer cells continues to grow and divide and forms tumor. There are two types of tumor: benign and malignant. In benign, it remained confined to its tissue of origin, and it doesn't spread. Whereas in malignant, it is also known as neoplastic. It is a mass proliferation. It do mass proliferation and invade and migrate to other tissues, which is known as metastasis or malignancy. Then detection in that we did biopsy, histopathology, CT scan, and MRI. So then we did causes. In causes, there is chemical. There are three causes: chemical carcinogens, physical
Mhm.
carcinogens, and biological carcinogens. In
Yes.
chemical, there is nicotine. In physical, there is UV rays and X-rays. UV rays are non-ionizing, whereas X-ray and gamma rays are ionizing. And biological carcinogens, there is virus, which is known as oncogenic virus. In
So
treatment,
just 1 second. Just Alia, sorry to interrupt
sorry,
you,
sorry.
but I hope you understand what is ionizing and non-ionizing, because no one asked this to me. So I just assume sometimes that you don't know. So what is a non-ionizing radiation and what is a ionizing radiation? Do you understand the difference? It's like some physics, but it's good to ask. If you don't understand, tell me.
I don't.
So ionized radiations, it will
Yes.
make it ionized, make it lose electrons or lose electrons or gain electrons. But
Make what?
non-ionizing
Make what lose
make
electrons or gain electrons?
the cell or the substance which we are blasting with the radiation.
Molecules inside the cell, right? So when something is non-ionizing, as Nabil very correctly said, it cannot ionize. That's what the word non-ionize means. Like to ionize anything, you know from chemistry or physics that you have to remove one electron, which is easier. Instead of adding one proton or removing one proton, it's easier to add or remove one electron, right? This is how chemical reactions normally happen. So if you add one electron, the atom gets positively charged if it was neutral to begin with. Sorry, remove one electron, then the atom gets positively charged if it was neutral to begin with. If you add one electron, the atom gets negatively charged if it was neutral to begin with, right? So some radiations have low energy, so they still can cause harm, like UV radiations can cause harm, but not through ionization. Okay, they cause breaks in bond sometimes. Okay, so non-ionizing radiations include UV, microwaves, your radio waves, infrared, and your visible. So these are all non-ionizing. Okay, and ionizing are very high energy rays which have enough energy to just remove electrons from the atoms. Now you can understand how much energy it is, right? Make sense, everyone? So that's ionizing and non-ionizing. Yeah, continue, Alia.
Then we did treatments in which we did human therapy. So in this, the
Hey,
chemical drug.
I think you forgot the biological carcinogens, Alia, or I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah, I
I missed
did.
it.
I said viruses. The it is known as oncogenic viruses.
Okay,
And yeah,
sorry, I missed it probably. Yeah, continue. Just one
um,
second.
then we did treatments in which we did chemotherapy. So chemical drugs are injected in body to kill cancer cells in specific manner. The chemotherapy have side effects like hair loss and anemia. Uh, then we did surgery. It is one of the common approach where tumor is removed surgically. Then in radiotherapy, cancerous tumor cells are radiated laterally and taking care of normal cells. The it is it is it is noticed that cancer tumor can avoid detection and destruction
Mhm.
by immune system. So hence patients are given alpha interferons. It is a biological immune response modification. It activates immune system to detect and destroy cancer. Then we started drug and alcohol abuse. In that, we did three most commonly abused drugs, in which there's opioids. It is
Opioids.
okay, opioid.
It coming from opium. Opium. So opioids. Let me if I write the pronunciation syntax here, O P kind of like this. Okay,
Okay, so
single O.
opioid. Okay, so
Okay, you
opioid.
also. I also have issues pronouncing a lot of words. Thankfully, opium is not one of it. So it's like opium. Okay, simple. So opioids. Okay.
So opioids are obtained from opium poppy. It binds with a specific opioid receptor present in uh, SNS.
CNS.
CNS. Yeah,
What is CNS?
central. Yeah,
Central nervous
central
system.
nervous system. Yeah.
I thought you discovered some new one and you're like SNS. I'm like, okay, nice, good. Okay. Anyways,
Right,
yes.
and
Just
gastrointestinal tract. It This plant is used to produce morphine. It is a painkiller. But the
opioids. Opioids
opioid,
come from yeah. So morphine is a kind of opioid when you acetylate the morphine. So acetylation of morphine makes it diacetyl morphine. Okay. So opioids. Morphine is opioid derived. Morphine is used as a potent painkiller. It's still used, and in earlier times I told you milk of poppy they used to call it. So they used to directly, because it's a white fluid that comes out of this opium poppy plant. So they take this white fluid and they call it milk of poppy, and it was given to patients who underwent some limb amputation or some serious wounds, etc. Yes, continue. Sorry.
okay. So from acetylation of morphine forms diacetyl morphine.
Yeah.
Uh, it is a crystal powder which is known as smack or heroin. It
Heroin.
is heroin. Okay, heroin.
Yeah.
It is a depressant and it slows down the body. Then we did.
Yes. So this is the important thing you have to know about these three classes. Opioids are depressants. Their effect is to slow down. So whoever abuses opioids, they're like they just feel the world moving in a slow motion, you know. And if they are depressed, they become so depressant is not like they will make the person depressed all the time, but they will depress all the activities. Depression means down, bringing down all the activities. So if a person is on opioids, if you tell the person that run for your life, the person will not run. The person will not uh, respond to the stimulus. On the other hand, there are certain drugs which make the person so active that they feel on the top of the world. They just activate, stimulate. They are called stimulants. So depressants and stimulants. One good stimulant is caffeine. I don't know if I should say good or bad, but it's like illegal, I should say. Yeah, so caffeine people take in coffee and tea to stay alert and active, right? It's a stimulant. Make sense, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, continue.
So then we did cannabinoids. It is the common name for it is weed. It is obtained from cannabis sativa.
Cannabis,
So
yes.
they are the group of chemicals which interact with cannabinoid receptor in brain. Um, there is marijuana, hashish, charas, and ganja. It is usually either taken by oral injection or inhalation.
Yes,
They affect cardiovascular system. Then we did
yes.
coca alkaloids. It comes from Erythroxylum coca. It is the native of South America and it is known as cocaine. Um, it interferes with transport of dopamine, which is transmitter. It induces euphoria and increase energy. The excessive dosage of this can cause hallucination. The nicotine is
Hallucinations.
hallucin- hallucination. Hallucination.
Hallucinations is, you know what are
Uh,
hallucinations?
Dreaming, like believing something is there, but in reality it's not.
Yeah, perceptions of false reality. And this can be auditory, like you hear something which is not being said or which not there. It can be visual as well. Okay, so mostly it's auditory and visual. So either you hear something which is not there or you see something which is not there. It's not a part of reality but you think it's real. That's called hallucinations. Okay, you are hallucinating things which never happened or which never are happening. Okay.
Yes. So then we did nicotine. It is another kind of alkaloid. It gives people nicotine pills and it increases their energy.
Yes, so nicotine is just opposite to opioids. You understand how and why? It increases, it makes the body hyper, whereas opioids decreases and depresses the body in the system. Correct?
Yes. So
Okay, very good. And then you went on to read stuff. Do you have any doubt? Anyone has any doubt? I think today we are also joined by Reem. Reem, are you there?
Yes, sir.
You're not you're not present in some classes, right?
No, sir. I was present
You
last
were
week.
present? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I don't know why okay. We were just discussing about hallucinations. So okay, so any doubts in this chapter? Anyone wants to ask anything? Did you go back and read about how can you avoid peer pressures? What are the strategies? Go to a counselor, things like that. What is addiction? Every one of you know. These are some common things. You can just they have no technical basis that I have to teach you. So addiction is when you are on these drugs. I have told you that all these drugs affect some or the other receptor in the CNS or in the cardiovascular system, right? And over time, when you keep giving these stimulants or depressants to the body gets dependent on it. You understand? Yes.
yes. So
So to feel like there are certain mood elevators, certain drugs which make you feel happy. Now, what happens with this is what is the problem is our body kind of adapts. The threshold rises. For example, if anyone does not like spicy food, but slowly and gradually you start making them eat spicy food, after 3, 4, 5 years, they will just start enjoying spicy food, right? Yes or no?
yes. So
And after 4 years, the kind of food that was unbearable to that person 4 years ago now is a tasty food, right? It can that person can eat spicy chicken, let's say, for example. So the threshold has raised. Similarly, when you are on these drugs, like to feel elated or to feel happy or to escape reality, when you keep taking it, and suppose you are on drugs and you're now very happy. So something happened and you feel happy doing that activity. But after some time, When your body gets dependent, when you are not on the drugs and something happens, same thing happens, you will not feel happy, right? Because your threshold has, you need that drug to feel happy, or you need something more, much more stronger to make you feel happy. Do you understand my point? So that's the bad thing. That's where dependency starts building on, and for it goes to a level where if you want to stop it, quit it, you cannot do it in one go. So that's the problem. You get withdrawal symptoms, your brain cannot process. You often must have heard people saying that, why, if you ask smokers, why do you smoke cigarette, or why do you take a nicotine? It's because we cannot think without it, right? Like
Yeah.
it makes us more creativity, it makes us more thought, like we can work only when we have cigarette. Otherwise I'll start having a headache or something like that. All these are withdrawal symptoms because you made your body addicted to certain thing, and now your body cannot function properly without that thing in the system. Okay, and it keeps increasing. So first day you are taking 1 gram and your body is very happy. Now that 1 gram will become the baseline, you need 2 grams, then 3, then 4, and so on. Okay, so not going that way. um, it's not an option. Any other doubts, people?
So,
Yes, Nabil, please.
no, sir.
Oh, you're saying no doubts. Okay, then what I'll do is, let me let's start another chapter. So today let's do one thing, because we have already discussed about diseases and certain microbes. So your syllabus in this unit, you have 3 chapters. One is talking about strategies in food production, I guess, right? Can anyone open NCRT and tell me what? So this is chapter 8. What is chapter 9 and chapter 10 in this unit? Quickly, I think, let me open it. So I think chapter 9 is strategies in increasing food production or something like that, right?
Yes, so.
And then chapter 10 is your microbes in human welfare. Both these 2 chapters have are very basic, but they have things that you have to remember. So we can do it in a discussive mode. So it's not something very which you are not at all aware of. So let's take chapter 10 in today's class. Let's discuss it. So it talks about all the microbes that we already, many of those we already have studied. For example, microbes for household products. You know lactobacillus. All of us know about how we make curd from milk, right? So these are some common stuffs. So let's discuss. Okay, Minashi is giving me an information that so chapter 9 is deleted. Is it deleted from everyone's syllabus?
No, sir.
Chapter 9. Minashi, where it is deleted from? Like from the boards or from your school?
Yeah, from the
From
board.
from
From the board.
CBSE board.
Yeah.
Others, if it is deleted from boards, then all of you are giving CBSE exam.
No, sir. I'm doing ICT.
Alia is giving an ICSE, so it's not deleted for you, Alia. But chapter 10 is there in everyone's